This is a case where the choice of lab testing technologies resulted in very different outcomes. Tommy and Terry were identical twins. Tommy attended a West Coast college and Terry was at an East Coast school. During spring break, they were home and attended a party. Both were talking with Carmela, a high school friend who had just returned from China from a semester abroad. Unknowingly, Carmela contracted the avian flu while traveling and transmitted the virus to the boys. After returning to their schools, both Terry and Tommy became sick. Their symptoms included cough, fever, and fatigue. They were seen at their school's infirmary. A nasal swab was taken and tested for influenza using a rapid diagnostic test, which was negative for both boys. Terry's doctor believed his patient had a common cold and discharged him with a prescription of diphenhydramine and a cough suppressant. The doctor sent off the nasal swab to a microbiology lab for a culture. He told Terry it could take a few days to get a result. Tommy's physician suspected a serious infection and believed his test result was wrong. He was taken to the General Hospital's emergency department where his body temperature spiked higher. He was breathing fast and was shaking. He was admitted to the ICU under the sepsis protocol. Diagnostics included a blood culture, lactate, and procalcitonin, a protein released into blood of patients with bacterial infections. A fresh respiratory swab was collected and sent for cultures. The lab had recently implemented a PCR test for respiratory infections. Within an hour, the test was positive for influenza A. Tommy was given antiviral medication. His case was reported to the Department of Public Health, who conducted contact tracing, where they interviewed Tommy's roommates and friends. None had any symptoms. Later, they learned that his twin brother had these same symptoms. Terry was quarantined in his dorm and wasn't hospitalized until his blood culture turned positive several days after his symptoms began. By the time he arrived in the ICU, his illness was advanced and Terry passed away. The surviving brother dropped out of school and went into a deep depression. The selection of technologies for critical lab tests available can have consequences on medical outcomes. A molecular test for flu enables a more rapid diagnosis of infection than waiting for the microorganism to grow in a petri dish. Early detection and subsequent treatment enabled Tommy to survive. Today, because of COVID, rapid molecular tests are available in most hospitals. Stay tuned for more lab tales.